Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. I found something along the road. Yeah, I know, it's kind of a thing that I do, isn't it? One of my neighbors had something out at the end of their driveway with a free sign on it. I'm going to look. It's a vacuum cleaner. It's got a couple of problems, but I think I can fix them. It's a Sears Craftsman 12-gallon wet or dry vac. Double insulated, 2.25 peak horsepower. Of course, peak horsepower is one of those numbers that marketing likes to talk about. Doesn't ever make 2.25 horsepower. That's if it's up against full lock. That's how much current it's using. Not generating 2.25 peak horsepower. At least, that's my understanding of it. If somebody's got a better explanation of it, I'm happy to listen. It does start. It's really noisy. But it doesn't have any vacuum. Let's see why. First thing we always do is unplug it, because we don't know what we're going to touch when we get inside here, and I'd rather not get a shock. Also, I don't want to have the darn thing starting just on a whim. The tub appears to be in pretty good shape. It had a bunch of dust in it when I brought it home, because obviously the guy was using it and it stopped working, so he set it out by the end of the road and said, okay, bye-bye, I'm not working on you anymore. I know the feeling, been there, done that. Let's have a look at the motor, see if Let's have a look at the motor and see why it doesn't have any vacuum. When I brought it home, this was laying in the bottom of the bin. This is supposed to be clipped into 3 slots. 1, 2, and 3. And it's got little notches there. Should go in and click, but one of them's broken off. So that's probably why this pops out whenever he tightens the filter up. I don't think you're supposed to tighten up the filter that tight anyways. Take this screw off. And these notches click into those openings. Just like that. It doesn't want to come out. And if you set this on top and put this disc on it and tighten this up a little bit, that's enough to hold the filter on. That's all you really need to do, because the vacuum is trying to suck that filter inside the fan. So all the pressure is going to keep this on. You don't need a whole lot of effort to hold it on. But if you put any side pressure on it, it'll pop right out. So we'll probably have to do something with that. I don't know, maybe build a little notch or put a screw in it or something to hold that third tab. Now, as to why it has no vacuum. Well, the blade is supposed to suck things up into it. It's supposed to suck air into the blade and pull it on through. But with all this stuff in the blade, it closes up the ends of the air ports on the blade itself, so the vanes can't get any air in them, and it doesn't let it suck. Well, it's got an almighty amount of vacuum on it because it just sucked that piece of paper right off the side of the box. And you can hear that it makes it not vacuum, it just makes it into a siren. It's better than it was, but I bet it's got a bunch of junk inside that fan. Just looking at the end of the vanes, looks like there's a bunch of junk in there. So with the motor unplugged again, I can take these 4 screws out, and that should release this, at least according to the diagram, which I found on Sears Parts Direct. You can still buy parts for this vacuum cleaner. Gotta clean that out. Let's see if that'll work. There we go. These little impact drivers come in real handy. Because I'm pushing down at the same time this is spinning it, it'll break loose things that nothing else will. Man, is it humid out here. And it's calling for thunderstorms today. It's 85 degrees. I imagine this is stuck on there a little bit. But we're going to look for screws before I go tapping on things. I bet these screws hold it too. It's got 2 here on the ductwork. Try it the easy way first. Nope. If at first you don't succeed, have at it with the tools. Phillips screw heads are okay. They're nice because they do tend to self-center, but they suck as far as stripping out. They just don't want to stay in there. Just a little bit of dirt in the bottom of the screw head makes it so it doesn't stay in and engage. A little broader tip on the driver makes a difference too. Gets more of an engagement in the head. There we go. Now let's see what this head looks like. That's a Phillips. Kind of stands to read, doesn't it? Well, this screw does not want to remove. So I think it's time for some 50-50 and a little bit of patience. Put a little 50-50 down in there and let her soak for a while. Going into plastic, I can't see why it's being so sticky, but it is, so we'll just have to deal with it. I need to get the outside edge of the fans so I can clean out the volute, which is the housing that the fan sits in, and make sure that there isn't anything stuck in there too, because if it's get in there, it could be clogging up the exit. Little patience. In the meantime, a little super glue probably would do wonders for this. Mine on the other vacuum cleaner split too. It didn't pop out on this one, it just put a crack in it. Somebody reefed on it too hard, maybe stepped on it, who knows. But I'll take off the duct tape and then put some super glue on it. And what I did is I put packing tape, clear packing tape around the outside to reinforce it. Duct tape is okay, but it does that. And then you have this sticky mess to take off too. There. Took a bunch of doing, but we got her. It sucked up some junk in there and spun like the dickens. Well, the fan's clean. Oh look, there's the motor. We can get the motor out and clean off the motor too. How's that? Running it without the filter has sucked junk into the motor. That's never a good thing. There we go. Gotta have these things clocked around the right direction. There. That's that. This one? Yep, looks like it's right. I don't think that filter's been cleaned for a while. This clicks in. at that. Doesn't want to come out. That's good. I think if you put this on, like so, and set this over that, and then just snug this down. It doesn't need to be super tight. Just enough so that this doesn't fall loose. This was tucked up inside that elbow. Bet that didn't help it draw any at all. Now let's assemble it and see how it pulls. With the filter cleaned, it's got a lot of pull to it. And with the baffle opened up, I bet that helped on the pull also. Not only that, when I cleaned out the fan blade and got all the plugging out of the fan blade, it stopped being a siren and went back to just moving air. So it's not anywhere near as noisy as it was. So that's a definite plus. I think we got this one running. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching. This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the US or 16 in the European Union, without the express written permission of the parents or legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.